Everybody, welcome back. It's the right save file. And welcome back, it's Isaac. This Isaac is streaking. This Isaac's seen a lot of C's, but it's with the NGXOI1 with you. You guys like the Guess Who? Algiz. Okay. I'm completely okay with this start. Check this out, your boy is, well, that's a really bad reason to use an Algiz, actually. I had a galaxy brain moment and was like, I'll just use an Algiz to avoid taking half of a black heart of damage. And then I thought to myself, actually that's pretty stupid, and even when I say smart things I use this voice, and screw you for thinking that just because I have this voice it makes me, like, less intelligent than you. I'm actually, this character's an astrophysicist at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory at Caltech, you Philistine. And I love eating all sorts of smart foods, like foreign cheeses and other foods that indicate that you have a certain standard of intelligence because they're eaten by the bourgeoisie. Anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about. I love being able to have and use bombs in this game, and I want to say in this game specifically, just in case Google DeepMind is listening. I was never one of those kids, you know, you always have a kid in your high school. Some of you were these kids, I know it. I know my audience, I know my demographic. The kids who would like get a lighter and then just use it on the school bus and be like, check it out, I got a lighter trick. Check it out, I'm reading the Anarchist Cookbook, but not the Isaac version, like the real one. I wasn't that kid. I was the kid who was like, cool, I'm gonna move up like 2 rows and I'm gonna read my book even though it makes me nauseous, because it's on the bus. That's how badass I was. That's right, I'll read a book on the bus even when I have motion sickness. I'll try at least. Hey, don't do that. We need 3... Ooh, never mind, my friends. We need 2 remaining items now. Video's already been a success like 10 minutes in here. And by 10 minutes, I mean like not even close. 2 minutes. We need... Oh, thank God. 5 cents. That's lovely. We need unicorn stump and the scissors. Now that we've gotten glass cannon. You're too good to me. Ooh, I love the way you love me. I don't know that many Faith Hill songs. I know This Kiss and then The Way You Love Me, Baby. It's that centripetal motion. It's impeccable blitz. You know the one. I've been singing a lot in today's episode. There's a couple people out there who get very perturbed when I sing. And then there's a couple people out there who like it. Now when I say there's a couple of people out there who get perturbed, I mean a couple of hundred. And when I say that there's a couple of people out there who like it, I mean literally 0. It's that, ooh, unthinkable. Now, we're still like in love with this run. Mostly rate of fire and speed increases have got me happy here. Rate of fire is huge. The health down sucks, and it sucks most early, which is where we are, obviously. But there's a lot to like, you know, even besides the fact that we got glass cannon, so like on a meta level, this run is pretty good to begin with. We're almost certainly going to get a deal with the devil here, even if our HP is a little dicey for, you know, with respect to actually taking the deal. We could afford to go to the shop. We have a trinket that makes buying things not that unlikely. You know, it pretty much worked out already. We just need a little bit more money, which can happen in a variety of ways. Secret room, poop, or, you know, the arcade that we're looking for to begin with to actually do something with this Algiz rune that's a little productive. To be honest, I think I would rather have 2 HP and 1.3 speed. This is getting a little, like, Isaac hipster. I think I'd rather have 2 HP and 1.3 speed than have 1 speed and 3 HP. It sounds like if me 3 or 4 years ago had heard what me now is saying, they would be like, what happened? And the answer would be, I'm like way more consistent now. I'm a much more consistent player. That's what happened. And I think speed is really much more important than HP. Now, I'd rather have 1 speed and 3 HP than 1.6 speed and 1 HP. But I think 2 HP and a little... It's not even a little speed up. It's like a pretty marked speed up. That's like... that's the sweet spot right there. It's only because 0.3 speed up from 1 is actually, like, pretty big. If it was just like a, you know, modest speed up, but 1.3 is, like, more than we need for the rest of the game. We can even sustain a speed downgrade and be fine. Okay, so coat hanger's totally fine, probably. The Void is very tempting, I'll give you that, but I don't like Void plus D6. So I'm kind of like, I've made my choice there. So we're going to stick with this being an Angel run. Admittedly, I've been made to eat my words. Because if we had more HP, we would have taken Maw of the Void. It would have been a damage upgrade. And we would probably prefer that. But I'm not overly upset about the way this is going. I honestly think we want the Hourglass. And normally I used to feel bad about taking the Hourglass, but they made it worse, which is very smart of them, to make it like worse so it's actually kind of fun to have. And then beyond that, there's no guarantee that this run is going to get strong from a damage standpoint for a long time. Wow, that's just horrendous. And I mean that sincerely. We're really not going to get any more... We didn't go this way. Oh, we did go this way. Don't do what I did there. You don't have my permission. Plus, I don't think you have the cojones, if I'm being honest. I want to buy the Hourglass. I could just buy a Spirit Heart. That would be like a happy medium. Amazing. So that's probably what we're going to do now. But it makes me upset. I'm very mad. You can tell by the tone of my voice. This is my happy face. That's Tommy Lee Jones in the 2005 film Man in the House, where he plays an FBI agent who has to babysit a bunch of sororities at the University of Texas after a bomb scare. Classic Cedric the Entertainer joint, and it's on the high end of his discography. You know, is sitting there in the like the 3 out of 10 region. He was in top 5. I'll give you that. So we got Mulligan, which especially with our rate of fire is actually like a 9 out of 10 quality item. That was just horrible. And we do still have, you know, we've got angel chances, which is what we're looking for on this run. 33% chance of any deal. 16.875 or whatever. 875. Look. 65753075309. I was just trying to remember how it actually goes. Hey, little damage wouldn't hurt. Mulligan's nice, and it's a damage surrogate. It's actually nicer than getting a damage upgrade in many situations. But we would like both. Can we have both? What's the problem? As Nick and Limmy would say. We got 2 coins there. Is my cheat engine showing? That's right. I'll admit it. For years, I've clandestinely kept cheat engine open in the background to occasionally give me 1 extra penny when there's only 1 on the screen. It's the perfect crime, and you all ate it up. Wow, NL, you're so good at getting slightly more money than I thought you were. Yeah, you sheep. I'm just joking. Wait, can this be used against me in a court of law? I have to consult the song Bad Boys to figure it out. I think, yeah, so, I mean, first off, therefore I am, but if Will thinks, is he Will, he is? You guys like the Black Eyed Peas? That's really what that was referencing. Is this an XL? It's not. It's just a long floor. I do hate that we took red heart damage. It's always like a bit of an admission of failure. Hey, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to actually dodge some of these enemies, huh? Take Nose Goblin. So far, we've done like a really, really bang-up job of accidentally getting to the boss room before the item room and shop every single time so far. And this is going to be a bit of a slog. We'd really like to get HP or DPS. HP to avoid those like heart attack moments. And then damage to, I mean, also avoid those heart attack moments, but avoid them indirectly by just killing enemies more quickly than usual. Nose Goblin, I mean, we've gotten a lot of stuff that works with a high rate of fire. Mulligan's one, Nose Goblin's another. Like, it didn't do anything that time, made me look like a damn fool, but if you ignore that, it's been working out pretty well. Thank God we got hit by a bomb. We didn't get hit by the explosion, just the impact, and it wasn't the firebomb. We'll take Blue Cap. It's HP plus, well, in this case, just a shot speed downgrade, but it's okay. We still got an item room to visit us somewhere on this floor, and we probably... I believe that when you get more rate of fire than you can actually hold, I believe it kind of stores it. And if we ever get to break the tier cap, we'll probably end up benefiting. Either way, we needed HP. So poison is okay, but just okay. Oh, dude. I'm sorry to Nose Goblin, but you can't negotiate on this one. Like, Tech X is an 11 out of 10. Works well with the Mulligan, works well with everything. Doesn't need the Mulligan. It could tell the Mulligan to go, you know, suck an egg. Doesn't matter. It would still be the dominant choice in this situation. Alright. So it's already a successful run from one aspect, and that aspect, thank God for the keys, that aspect is giving us an item that we needed. Now we got the second aspect, which is we got a really good chance of victory. Plus we've had some dynamite 10 out of 10 song parodies, which are obviously always a classic. You gotta, not everything is gonna be like an I'm So Thirsty level parody, as we've all established over the course of the last several years, but you gotta try regardless. Go step on that there. You know, someone asked me the other day, where was this? They asked me, what's your favorite song of all time? It was on Monday's show or Wednesday's show? I can't remember. And I thought about it for a while, and I got a lot of songs that I think, you know, you could consider among my favorite of all time. It depends. It's kind of a joke answer, but you say, like, you know, well, it depends. Ask me again next week, you know? Oh, this is Little Brimstone Boys. These are... Isn't this Little Brimstone? It is Little Brimstone Boys, but they're not doing the Little Brimstone Boy thing. I don't know if this is good or bad. It has affected Tech X in that we can only... You know what? I want more Angel Deal items. Let's try this. We can only shoot fully charged Tech X. No, I have no idea. Anyway. In the end, you know, I ended up choosing not, you know, a song by The Replacements or LCD Sound System or Velvet Underground. I said, Kiss from a Rose by Seal. Because when I thought about it, and I was being honest, I was like, first off, conjures nostalgic moments. I was like 7 when Batman Forever came out. That song was everywhere. Secondly, it's the greatest song ever written, and I'll understand that there's no criticism to the contrary here. Or just acquiesce yourself and sit yourself down in my comments, please, because, like, you're not welcome here anymore. It's a song, oh, I'm always going to be happy to hear. Is it a little cheesy? No. It's a masterpiece. It's either that or Mary Had a Little Lamb. Just a timeless classic. Oh, and you're like, oh, now I see he's joking. Anarchist Cookbook. Okay. Almost got Bookworm. Don't mind if I do. And I actually think I'll still use a bomb to get golden bombs. My favorite Robert Redford movie. Well, it's a little cheesy, though. And there's no Seal song in it. Oh, we'll go get the golden bombs, because it appears that we'll probably be able to maybe get secret room access via one of these goldies. We're ahead of schedule. The floor is kind of shifting around us, so it's hard to tell if we're going the right way to get a secret room, but we're trying nonetheless. Yeah, we're actually stupid as well. But hey, a spirit heart to get into this room, even though it was completely unnecessary to spend it. Lucky us. Get another Algiz rune. If we get the chance to do boss rush, we'd probably like to, especially if we can get a bunch of bombs prior to it. Ignore. Place. And then 5 more runes. I'm just gonna pop this Algiz and we'll hope that there's at least another Algiz in here later. There's a Dagaz, which is beautiful. and an AWAS, which we probably could have used to help us get out of boss rush. And there's a Yera, and there's an AWAS. I'm sorry, Yera. I am, for real, never meant to miss a doubling. Just want to get the boss room to give me something. Oh, man. Sorry, song machine's broke. Understandable. Have a good day. Can't force that kind of humor. And believe me, I've tried. It sounds like I'm tooting my own horn, and I guess it is self-praise. It's not meant to be a braggadocious claim, but I very rarely in these episodes, you'll say some of them turn out well, some of them turn out not so well. That's just the nature of the beast. I very rarely find myself starved for what to say. Like, it's a joke that I kind of enter a fugue state during these episodes and barely remember what I talk about, but it's also the dang truth, if I'm being real with you. I mean, it's not literally the truth that I enter a fugue state. That would be very troubling on like a neurological level. No, you know what? That gave me some time to think, and I think I do want that item. Even though it's not one of the items we need, I want to see what kind of scatter bomb action we get up to here. It's only depths 1. I really do, at least it feels like I enter a kind of fugue state. I don't have a problem conversing with myself for this long most of the time. It does happen from time to time. Try to like, you know, I don't quite hit like middle schooler asking a girl out for the first time level where I'm like writing topics to talk about on my hand. How did you feel about, have you ever watched pro wrestling? Not if there's anything wrong with that. Just sounds like a question middle school me would ask. Let's go. What do you think about Peter Bondra and Keith Kachuk? Who's the better power forward? Both my heart and my head say Bondra. Oh, let's go. It's just for the Capitals fans amongst you. You know what? I'm heading down to the next floor. Low Street in my Range Rover, boom, boom, baby, ready to let it go. Because I want to do boss rush. And moreover, we've already been to all the special rooms on that floor, and we're kind of ready to take this run to the next level. This is going to be, it's ironic, or coincidental, because, you know, the most ironic thing about the word ironic, usually describing things that are not ironic, well, I kind of botched the bit there. I was going to say the most ironic thing about the word ironic is that you can't say the word ironic without people being like, that's not ironic. I mean, how ironic is that? Excuse me, did we already get Bookworm? We must have. Well, I mean, it is 5 extra bombs, so I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth here. I decided, we only had a brief window with which to decide whether to take that or not. Oh, I'm stupid. And I decided to take it. You might not be a big fan of Alanis Morissette, and is the song ironic a meme? Yeah. I'll level with you. You know, I was alive when Jagged Little Pill came out, and I have memories of Jagged Little Pill existing. My parents played it all the time. For like a year. Ironic was everywhere. You could not escape Ironic. Kinda wanna go to the shop still. But the rest of the album still kinda bangs. You Oughta Know is an actual rock song about the actor who played Uncle Joey on Full House. Well, it's really about the breakup. It's not about him, I guess. It's giving him too much power. I think I like it. We could use the HP if nothing else. One Hand in My Pocket. Great song. There's other songs on that album. Hold up, give me a second here. There's a little classic NL Sojourn here. Yeah, I want this. No, Sojourn, they sang any way you want it. Give me a second here. Jagged Little Pill track list. All I really want. Oh yeah. All I really want is a shmow. I remember. I don't remember any of the other ones. But this is a really good track 1. Look at that. Discogs.com. Rating 4.8 out of 5 with 10 votes. That's a classic. What did Pitchfork Media give it? They weren't around back then. Wow, Entertainment Weekly gave it a C+. I'm inclined to think that that's vaguely sexist, Entertainment Weekly. Prove me wrong. That's right, not liking an Alanis Morissette album? You're sexist. I said it. What's next? You're gonna tell me you don't like Pink? Not the color, but the artist. You know she was the best-selling artist of the 2000s? Best-selling female artist of the 2000s, at least. But she might be, like, the best-selling artist, full stop, you know, no jacket and no gender required. It blew my mind. It's like the first time... We don't need it. I mean, how does this even work with TechX? Is it... They work, alright. This is the first time, like, I really realized... I'm gonna try something. It's the first time I really realized, like, how out of touch I was with, I guess, popular American music. Let's not make it... How out of touch I was with the generation of today. Ruka, you can't come in because you keep knocking things over and then, like, laughing about it. What even hit you there? I don't understand what killed you. Is Cheat Engine showing again? Because, like, I mean, obvious. This only ruins the knife. It's not as zany as you think it is to take this. It doesn't do as much zane as you would think. I promise this to you. This I promise you. Classic song. No, but what I'm saying is, when I saw that Pink was the best-selling artist of the 2000s, according to Billboard Music Reporting Service, I said to myself, I don't think I've heard a Pink song since, like, Most Girls in the year 2001. I know that means I'm, like, out of touch. Or out of time, as Hall & Oates would say. Tell you what, I do like Halo of Flies here. Works as closer to Beelzebub. I'm happy with it. We don't need to get every item. We're re-rolling as much as we can / feel comfortable with, but... I would have said the Black Eyed Peas or something. Not that I was rude. I didn't have a horse in the race. Unless it was Japan Droids, which it was not. Probably not even the best-selling, you know, Vancouver artist of the 2000s. They only had a couple of albums and EPs that came out in that time frame. And then beyond that, Swollen Members was pretty popular in the year 2001. That's right, there's a band from Canada called Swollen Members. They did a very popular song. They were kind of like a hardcore LMFAO. And they did a very popular song in my youth with Canadian artist Nelly Furtado before Promiscuous came out, and Nelly Furtado kind of took off even more than she did in the I'm Like a Bird Day, even though that's probably the more enduring song. Although I have to admit, the radio lately, the top 40 station's been playing a little bit more Promiscuous Girl, and I'm like, first off, I resent that this is a nostalgic throwback, because this is the song that defined my senior prom, which was only, oh my god, 12 years ago. But then, beyond that, it bangs. That song just goes, dude. I know we're living in that post-Timberland universe, but don't forget, if you're to make fun of Timbaland, he did the most iconic beat in music history. And I don't even need to say the song, I'll just do the beat. Bow. Bow, 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 bow. You know it, the burp song, Genuine Pony. I'm just a bachelor, looking for a partner. I'm not really much of a... I don't have the same kind of gravitas and magnetism that Genuine brought to that song. You get the idea, though. Don't disrespect Timbaland, but don't respect him either, unless he's done something to earn it, apart from coming up with that beat. Keep him in a neutral standing in your mind until you come to the, you know, you have a reason to believe otherwise. That's the way. It's like, you know, I don't know where I'm going with this bit, but I was reading something the other day. I'm gonna go down a couple of tracks here, so hopefully the run lasts long enough, so bear with me. I was reading something about Paul Newman. You know, there's a lot of gender issues that have come up in Hollywood, been very visible over the past year or so. There was an anecdote today that he did a movie with Susan Sarandon. Paul Newman did a movie with Susan Sarandon in 1998, and Susan Sarandon found out that Paul Newman and Gene Hackman were being paid more than her, and she was like, hey, what gives? I'm a famous actress too, which she is. And Paul Newman was like, I had no idea. Here, take a little bit of my salary. And everyone in the comments was going, Paul Newman, world's nicest man. He also makes good salad dressing. Well, I mean, he's dead, but like his company makes good salad dressing. All the profits, not the proceeds, but the profits from the salad dressing go to charity. He just seems like an all-around good dude, and this Susan Sarandon anecdote kind of, you know, puts it into perspective. I mean, but you guys want some cookies? I don't want to go down to the next. I don't want to fight Hush. We have a good reason not to fight Hush. We have 2 HP and 9 lives. But then someone in the comments was like, just so you know, in his early 20s, Paul Newman was married to a girl, cheated on her with a Hollywood actress, kept it secret for like 5 years. The Hollywood actress, who's named Jessica Tandy, got pregnant, and then he finally admitted it, divorced his first wife, who was raising their newborn child where he was off chasing his dreams in Hollywood. This is like slightly before he was famous, I guess. And then she, like, toiled in obscurity for the rest of her life, subsisting off meager alimony payments. And Paul Newman himself said he felt guilty about that stuff for the rest of his life. And then people in the comments were like, yeah, but he did so much good for the world. Can you really hold it against him? And I agree. Let me say that right off the bat. Is that I agree that everybody in their life is going to make mistakes. And especially when you look at it in reverse, you know, you tend not to look at these people as, you have the option to look at these people as human beings once you can look at their life in aggregate and say, you know, that was a mistake probably, that was good, you know, in the end, he was a good person, he had a good heart, blah, blah, blah. That's kidney stone. Thanks for the speed down for no concernable or discernible benefit. But then I also think, you know, and I don't know, maybe there's other stuff in his life that makes him a worse person, but I think about like Mark Wahlberg, who by all accounts, and I'm no huge Mark Wahlberg fan. I like him as an actor, but I mean, that's as far as it goes. Like, he's been in movies that I enjoy and a lot of movies that I really do not like, but I think he's been in some good stuff. But I don't idolize him as a person, you know, just because he was in Date Night starring Tina Fey and Steve Carell. You notice he's not part of the starring crew there. And by all accounts, you know, he was hilariously kind of like a rapper. And by kind of, I mean he had like a literal #1 single before he was a famous actor. And he was kind of like a piece of garbage. Like, he grew up in a rough neighborhood, but he also, like, there's a very famous story where he blinded a Vietnamese man. I can't remember why. But in the end, the proximate cause is irrelevant, because the final cause is, like, he was being a jerk. He was just like a piece of trash when he was younger. And maybe he's a product of his neighborhood, but still, you get the idea. He blinded a dude for life. And people were like, I will never forgive him for that. Now, I want to head something off at the pass here. In the whole scheme of things, you're probably a little bit of a jerk at the time either way. But it is, in my opinion, worse of a crime to blind somebody than to be an adulterer. That being said, does the statute of limitations ever wear off on that? If it does, okay, when? And if it doesn't, like, what I mean by when is, like, does it matter if he does humanitarian stuff? Or if he's generally a good person to the people around him? Or does he have to die for it to not matter anymore? That's not like, that sounds like it's coming across as a threat. I don't mean it like that. Does he have to die? Like, but when is it okay? Like, does he hit a set number of good boy points where it rolls over? Or is his worse forever because he did, like, actually blind a dude, which would actually be fair? I think about this now, because, like, you know, people who live their life in the public eye, and for once I'm not talking about myself, I'm going to open it. That's right. Beelzebub. Let's do it. You know, if you're an actor or an actress for, like, 40 years... there's gonna be something that's gonna embarrass you at some point, you know? Even Helen Mirren, she's got embarrassing stuff, I'm sure, from being in the industry so long. Something's gonna happen, you know? And I guess, like, the answer is it probably depends on, like, the nature of what you're being vilified for. Because, like, the Paul Newman thing, it's a really good thought experiment, I think. I call it the Paul Newman hypothesis. I just came up with it. If you ever reference it, you owe me $500 per mention, okay? Yeah, we'll take the wafer. Because he did a thing that is pretty bad. Like, if this came out about an actor at the time that it happened, like, if it was like, oh, hey, Jesse Eisenberg has been cheating on his young wife for 5 years with Jennifer Lawrence, and also, like, she's been raising their child at home and, you know, living in obscurity. You would be like, well, he's been off gallivanting at these Hollywood parties. You'd probably be like, Jesse Eisenberg's a jerk. But because it's in the rearview mirror, you go, but he did a lot of good stuff. He redeemed himself sort of later in life, so maybe it's okay. I don't know. I think about this stuff sometimes. Like, Robert Downey Jr. is another good example of a guy. I mean, his problems are even a little bit one step below that, because they didn't affect other people except for himself. You know, he was like addicted to drugs, but I guess they did affect other people, but not on like a widespread scale. I don't know, maybe it's similar. I'm stretching because I don't know what I'm talking about, but like, now he's like Hollywood's good boy. And he should be, maybe. He's been 20 years good behavior. That's a murderous prison sentence if he's gonna be held in contempt in the court of public opinion for that long. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you see more in the future. If you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.